My sexy maid. When love blossom. Chapter 3. Alexander was in his mansion after Mia left thinking of her. How could a lady be so beautiful and sexy at the same time? I think she will be good in bed, he said to himself. What the hell am I thinking? Having something to do with my employee? That is bad and I don't think I will ever do such. Just go for her already, his werewolf said. Just get lost, he said angrily. His werewolf has been trying to show itself but he never give it the chance in doing so because he do not want people to know he is not a complete human and he doesn't want to get people scared. He knows what his werewolf can do, that is why he is keeping it in check. He got fed up and shut down his laptop and went to have a nap. Mia, after cutting off the call, she started preparing the cloth she will wear to her new workplace the next day. She took out a short yellow gown which was really beautiful and she stared at it. I think this is perfect, she said to herself. After selecting the cloth, she went into the kitchen to prepare food for her and Karen. Later in the evening, Karen came back from school and met his sister at home smiling happily. Welcome sis, why are you this happy? Go to your room and change, then you come back and I will gist. Oh geez, you know I love gist a lot, can't you tell me now? You better go up and change first, big head, she said. You are such a fun spoiler, he said and went up to his room. He quickly took off his uniform and take shower, then he wore a new clothes and went downstairs. He got downstairs and met his sister in the kitchen. Sis, I am done now. I am coming, she said from the kitchen. After some minutes she is done and she went to the living room and sat with Karen. Well, I am really happy we will be able to start Dad's surgery now and he will be okay again. How are we going to do that when you don't have a job? Will you let me finish or not? Okay, go on, he said and she continued. I was at home today going through my phone when I saw a vacancy that a maid is needed and I quickly wrote the address down and went there. When I got there I met the famous billionaire who is ranked the third most wealthy billionaire in the whole of New York. When you say the third most wealthy billionaire, do you mean Alexander Knight? Karen asked. Yes dear. Wow, he is my role model. I love him so much. Sis, please will you let me see him when you start working? That is if he will allow that. Well, that is not the main thing. I will be paid 1 million every month. Sis, 1 million a month for just being a maid? We are rich sis, he said excitedly and dancing dramatically, which makes Mia laugh. Why don't you start immediately? Well, he said I should start the next day, so I will be going there tomorrow. Wow, you will be working with such an handsome billionaire. I hope you don't fall for him though. I cannot, even I am not in his class. I know he will date a girl of his class, so take that out of your head, she said, and just then her phone rang. She picked up the call, seeing that it is the doctor that is calling. Hello doctor, I hope all is well. I think you did not value your father's life. See, if we don't do the surgery in 3 days' time you will lose your father, the doctor said and hang up. Mia dropped the phone, putting on a sad face. What did the doctor say? Karen asked and Mia told him what he say. Oh, are we going to get the money in 3 days? She asked. Sis, I think you can ask your boss for a loan when you get to work tomorrow and you will use your salary to repay him. Well, I hope he agrees because it is my first day at work. Don't worry sis, he will agree. I hope so, she said, and they went to see their father at the hospital and also pray to God to keep him alive. After a while they went back home and they both ate dinner and went to sleep. The next day, Mia woke up and prepared breakfast, then she went to take her bath. Karen also wake up to prepare for school, and after they were both done they pray and then eat breakfast and went out of the house. Karen went to school and Mia also boarded a cab to Alexander's mansion. She got there and knocked on the gate, then the security let her in. She got in and met Alexander just coming down to the living room. Good morning sir, she greeted with her face down. Morning, you came in time, I was about to go to work. Okay, what you will have to do for me first is to go into the kitchen and prepare breakfast. That is your first task and it must be good. Okay sir, she said, then dropped her bag on the couch and went into the kitchen to prepare the breakfast. Alexander sat on the couch busy with his phone and waiting for her to finish. After an hour she was done preparing it and she dished it on the dining. After that she went to tell Alexander. I am done preparing it sir, she said to him. Karen got to his school and girls start drooling over him as usual. He also enjoy this vibe. Most handsome, a guy said, shaking hands with him. That is me bro, he also said, and they both went to class together. The guy name is Damien. Damien is Karen's only friend in his school. They are best of friends. Damien is really handsome also, but not as Karen. Girls wish Karen could be their boyfriend, but he have no time for girls. Karen and Damien got the class and they both sat down. I have something to tell you, Karen said. What is it, bro? Well, do you know Alexander Knight? Who doesn't know the famous billionaire? Damien said. I guess I will be seeing him soon. Seeing him like how? I don't understand you. Well, my big sis is now working as a maid in his mansion with a salary of 1 million monthly, and you know what that means. Wow, bro, you are really lucky. You will be wealthy soon. Yes, I am happy, but the doctor said we have to provide the money for my dad's surgery in 3 days' time or else he will die. Don't worry. I know your dad won't die. Just have that faith. I hope so. Why don't your sister tell Alexander? I heard he is a very nice man and kind. I am sure he will help her. I told her to tell him and I hope he will be able to help. Don't worry. Don't be sad. Your dad won't die. Thanks, he said, and they both hit their knuckles together, and just then the teacher came in and they face him and the day's work began. After Mia said this, Alexander stood up and went to the dining and sat down. Then Mia dish out his food and place it in front of him. Mia wanted to leave there when he called her back. Where are you going? He asked. I am going to the kitchen, she answered. Sit down and join me. Sir, Mia said, not believing her ears. Sit down and eat with me. I don't bite, he said again, and Mia sat down reluctantly and dished her food. Then she began picking at her food. Alexander took the first spoon of the food into his mouth and was more than satisfied with her food. Wow, this is really delicious. I love it so much. Your food is as beautiful as you, he said. Thank you, sir, she said, blushing. They both began eating again, stealing glances at each other. After they are done eating, Mia pack the dishes and wash it. After she is done washing, she wanted to go and do some other things when he called her. She sat down beside him to listen what he have to say. You are such a beautiful lady. Why did you have to choose the job of a maid? Well, sir, I was working at a big restaurant as a waitress before when I was framed for stealing some money and my boss sacked me, and why I am doing this job is because of my dad is at the hospital and very sick for a month now. He has an heart disease and the doctor said he will need to conduct a surgery for him and it will cost up to 3 million for it. Wow, that is much. Have you been able to pay the money? No. Few days before I was sacked, my boss decided to increase my salary, and when I got sacked I was really sad and devastated that how will I pay for my dad's surgery. Okay. Then yesterday after leaving your place the doctor called me and told me that we have just 3 days to get the 3 million or else my father will die, and I don't want that, she said in tears. Stop crying. A beauty like you don't need to cry, Alexander said and gave her a face towel to clean her face, and she collected and cleaned her face. Okay, give me your account number, Alexander said, and she called it for him. It is done, he said and stood up. She checked her phone and saw the sum of 3 million naira transfer. Wow, thank you so much, sir, she said happily, and she suddenly hugged him. Alexander was surprised by this. To be continued. Wow, Alexander is such a nice and great person. Thanks for putting a smile on her face. Karen, your father will be okay again, so don't be sad anymore. What do you think of Alexander? Say your thoughts about this chapter. Give massive likes, comments and shares on this